So in this video, we're going to look at the versatility of Brisk and using a website that I'm looking up information on thermal bridging. This is specifically related to construction studies. I'm going to use this website to create a resource, to create a slide presentation, to create a short answer quiz, multiple choice quiz, a long answer quiz, and then we're going to look and the long answer quiz is going to have an answer key, and we're going to use a rubric with that as well. And then we're going to look at a boost activity, which is one of the things that really sold Brisk to me, is where a tutor activity, where we're going to use this website to create a self-paced learning activity for students. So the first thing I'm going to do with this web page anyway is I'm going to create a resource. So I'm going to create a set of notes basically. So the boost activity, select the boost icon, select create, and I want a resource. Now, like there are a whole loads of things there, but we're just going to go to resource. So create a resource about this web page. British English, 11th grade. Oh, I got 12th grade because I want it for my leaving certs. Brisk. Now, sometimes if I have students that have a difficulty reading, I have a number of students in 5th year, I would actually create this twice. I would create it first with the reading age of the 11th grade, and I have two then that have a reading age of 7th grade. So we create the same set of notes in 7th grade, and I distributed them using Google Class. Now, no one ever knows who gets a different set of notes unless they actually look into each other, or who gets a different set of questions. You can differentiate it that way, so it is a great tool that way. So Brisk, right? Google Doc, generate it up, and it goes through the notes, gives all the information, breaks it down like that in a set of notes, right? And I'm happy with that. So literally created that in less than a minute and a half from the internet. And again, the only thing is it has to be on Chrome browser. So there are my notes. So the next thing I'm going to do is to create a presentation from this. So create presentation, and again, 12th grade, 10 slides. I could go back and create it again and put a different reading age in it by using that, or there's a feature in there that I can actually change the level of the reading age. So I want to create a presentation of this document focusing on the definition of a thermal bridge, the cause of thermal bridging, and the solutions to thermal bridging. So I'm being very specific. I just wanted to pick up that much. So I click next and pick my style. And we go to snow. I think it's at that time of the year. And it runs through and creates the slides for me. And obviously the caveat again is that you proofread this and you check that everything is factually correct. You don't just walk into class and off you go and then realize halfway through there's something wrong. So it has gone through. Now at the end it gives me options, like I can create a resource and that's similar to what I have, create a quiz, can create a vocab list, which gives you the key terms, etc. So that's that. So I'm going to save that or put that in. Just in my construction studies folder, put into passive house, and create a folder in here for thermal bridging. No, it's just to see how many resources I can create from the one page in a matter of, there's my folder, and I move that in there. I'm going to put the notes in there as well. So I'm going to use this document again now, and I'm going to create like an exit ticket. So I'm going to create short questions. So I'm going to create a quiz. So much wanted to cover thermal bridging using the notes from this document. So this one precisely we're using the notes from this document. Next, I want a new form, Brisket. Let it generate the 10 questions. Now, sometimes it generates more than 10. So you go through, there may be repetition, or sometimes you find as you go down along the page that the questions become that bit more difficult. So you do the usual here, go through the questions, shuffle the order, because you tend to find that all the answers are B. So yeah, it has actually gone on there and it's still going at 20. First thing would be to put in a place for the student's name so that you will know who's answering the questions. And then you go through the questions and you so I click on the question and shuffle the option order so that you get different answers each time. and you go through and see what the questions are, and you then add or delete what it is. If you want to put the responses on a sheet, you can create a spreadsheet, and that'll go there. No, so again, I'll put that into my folder, terminal bridging. That's that created. Now I would take the time now and go through all of those and make sure that they're all there. So from this website, I'm going to create a long answer question. So create quiz, long response, 10 questions. Next, create a new Google Doc. Brisket. All right, so there's your long questions being created. Now, I intend to use this electronically. So I want to create the answer key as well. So create an answer key to this quiz above. So I'm just going to highlight this now so that it will do it on a separate page. Brisket. And here is my answer key being generated. So now I'm going to use the answer key to create a rubric that I can mark the long answer quiz with. So create rubric. All right, 5-point scale. What should the rubric cover? Use the answer key to create a rubric for the quiz from which this answer key was created. The rubric should check that the answers are factually correct, show an understanding of the topic, and the answers are clear and concise. So again, we just highlight this so that it is will create it in a new document, not onto this one. So Brisket, and here's my rubric being created. Right, so far we've created a presentation, we've created a set of notes, we have created a Google form with multiple choice answers, we have created a long question worksheet with an answer key and a rubric that we can use to give feedback to the student on their answers. And a beautiful part of Brisk is its ability to think called Brisk Boost that creates a tutor almost for students. Now, before you do that, you can do Brisk Boost with websites, videos, presentations, worksheets. I'm going to do it with the notes here. So the first thing to do is make sure that the share option is turned on. So at the moment it's private. So what I want to change it is anyone with the link, right? So that's done. So that's permissions for that so that anyone can see this. So now I go to Brisk or Boost student activity. Now, there are tutor, hook, character chat, especially if you're doing history, debate for English, an inquiry, which does brainstorm, very good for design, right? Brainstorming ideas get you thinking. Real world then is for math, and this then is a pulse check, or you can create an exit ticket for the end of class. So we're just going to do an engage one. So we're going to go tutor, right? So create a tutoring activity about this document. We're going to select a 12th grade British English, and we brisk it. Now, this is something totally different, and the first time I saw this, it actually blew my mind, to be perfectly honest. So, what does it do? Now, this is a Boost activity. You can copy the link and share it. You can create a class, right? So I'm going to add a class here just to show you what a class looks like. I'm going to call it Leaving Start Construction Studies, right? Add, so that's my class. Do you want them to email login secure, or we just name only, which is faster? It doesn't really matter. I prefer the email login. You only have to do this once and they're on the list. And after that, students can view file. They haven't yet make a copy for each student. So that's why you have the share option. Now, you could copy this link. Normally what I do and put it into my Google Classroom, or if you're using Microsoft Teams, put it into your Teams. Now, we're going to preview and exit. So this is what the students would be faced with, right? So their learning objectives are up here. So there are 4 learning objectives. So I can edit and add more. Define the thermal bridge and explain the impact on building energy efficiency. Identify and describe the 3 main types of thermal bridges in buildings. Discuss at least 3 reasons why thermal bridges should be avoided in construction. Propose at least 3 methods of preventing thermal bridges in building design and construction. So this is what your students will be faced with. And what to do, what happens here now? So it starts, so it welcomes you. I'm glad to see you. To get it started, can you explain what a thermal bridge is in your own words? Now, this won't work on the recording, but for students that find difficulty reading, this will read it for them. They can then voice type in their answers and it will pick it up and it will put them in for them. So I'm just going to type in, explain it in my own words. So my answer is thermal bridging is a path through a part of a building for heat to escape. So I just confirm that, right? And it takes it in and it says, right, that's great. Now you notice the slider went across there. So I have one learning objective. You've captured the essence of thermal bridging as a pathway for heat loss. Can you think of some specific examples where thermal bridging might occur? So you would go on like that, and just for argument's sake, say, I don't know, and see look what happens then. So this is very good for revision. So let's see what it'll say when I say I don't know. So then it prompts me to think like around windows, doors, corners of walls. Like I know it escapes around corners of walls. So that would be the way it would work. How do you monitor this? So that would be shared with students. So to monitor this now, copy link, your students' names would appear here, right? Each time they complete a learning outcome, it would be there. You can view exactly what they've written, right? And if it is only yellow, it means they haven't completed it fully. So you can see the progress. So I've completed that one 100%. I've only half completed this one to be yellow. So you can monitor it. Students' names will come up here. And it is an excellent, excellent tool, especially for revision. I, at the moment, have a son doing his Leaving Cert. And he's doing my subject. And when we started with this, he found it excellent. He says, you're not looking at notes, you're engaging with notes. Therefore, you make it easier to learn because your tutor is engaging, it's making you think, you're not just learning stuff off. So in less than 10 minutes, we have created a number of different activities, right? And all from a web page. You can do the same from a Google, or you can do the same from a YouTube video. You can do the same from a presentation. You can do the same from a document, right? Very, very quickly. So you build up your resources very, very fast, and you can chop and change as you use them in class. So in less than 10 minutes from a website, I've created a presentation using Google Slides. I've created a set of notes. I've created a Google form with short questions. I've created a worksheet. I have created an answer key, a rubric, and I've also created an activity. And to find the activity, if you go to the Brisk icon and the little bag, that will show you the activity. So I've created a whole lot of that in less than 10 minutes using Brisk, which is a fair achievement. Definitely working smarter, not harder.